Fraud has marked the end of Tim Walz's political career. It should also be the end of Gavin Newsom's, because the scale of what has occurred in California is unlike anywhere else. And the governor says, bring it on. Well, every time we have had an investigation into fraud in California, the results have been absolutely incredible in terms of both the scale of the fraud and the negligence of Newsom in allowing it. I mentioned the $24 billion in homelessness spending, where the auditor found that they lost track of the money. And now there have been individuals indicted for committing fraud in connection with those homelessness funds. There was just another audit that came out 2 weeks ago that found that the number of high-risk agencies that have serious risk of waste, fraud, abuse, or mismanagement has doubled during Newsom's tenure, that we're losing billions still in unemployment fraud, in fraud related to SNAP benefits and Medi-Cal determinations, and a whole host of other areas. The state auditor found the $32 billion in unemployment fraud back during COVID. So every time this has been looked into, we've just found out the problem is even worse than we thought before. So Newsom better be careful what he wishes for. He certainly has done nothing to control fraud, and everywhere you look here, I think you're going to find things that absolutely shock the conscience.
Yeah, and to that point, you're going to need, the governor will have to, at some point, whether through him or another official, someone he delegates this to, he's going to have to hand over potentially hours, recipients' names, addresses, social security numbers, dates of births involving subsidized child care services to prove that there are actually American citizens that are receiving these subsidies. There will have to be some sort of cooperation. How would the governor go about circumventing that? I mean, if he wanted to not cooperate.
Well, I'm sure he'll stonewall in every way he can, just like he did that in connection with the investigation into the unemployment fraud that we've already tried to do here. But, the reality is that when you look at the mistakes that he's made, not only are these investigations uncovering the scale of the fraud, but just the unbelievable negligence on the part of the Newsom administration. To give you one example, with the unemployment fraud, you had a lot of criminal syndicates, you had state prisoners that were stealing money, and it was no sweat. It was easy for them. The state actually mailed checks to penitentiaries, to state prisons, where the fraudsters were easily able to game the system. But the ultimate proof of the fraud we have in California and the scale of it is the fact that Gavin Newsom, in the course of 5 years, increased our state budget by $124 billion. That's a 50% increase in 5 years, and yet everything in California has continued to get worse. We lead the nation in unemployment, in homelessness, in poverty, in illiteracy. The risk goes on, and that's because citizens are simply getting nothing in return for those tax dollars.
Don't forget U-Haul use.
And U-Haul use, of course.
Appreciate that. Congressman Kevin Kiley joining us today of California. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Congressman.